All right, we're back, Blake, with a brand new bracket. Bracket, Blake. Blake's seeing it for the first time right now. It's the Clint Eastwood bracket, and he's taking in.
My goodness,
he's taking in all of these matchups. And if you're wondering how we got to these matchups, it's really simple. A lot of people asking, how do you get to be a number one seed? ATG and AT voted. All members of ATG and AT gave a list of 10 to 12 names that represented the definitive white boy. We took the ones with the most votes. They became the number one seeds. Once we had the 8 number one seeds established, we then used the wheel of names to place others where they go. Here we go. And the Clint Eastwood bracket reads like this. Number one seed, Clint Eastwood in the first round, taking a number 8 seed, John Madden. At the bottom, Nick Saban, who came in as number 2 seed, takes on singer Bob Dylan. Back up at the top, the 3 seed, Napoleon Bonaparte, takes on Archie Manning, who may or may not have been a pick from my wife. And then finally, we've got the 4 and the 5, which is Burt Reynolds versus Arnold Schwarzenegger, Blake.
Just an insane matchup there, Ronnie. An absolutely insane matchup.
So, you know, if we hadn't used the wheel, we would have placed people against our favorites so they could have advanced at least a little bit further. But right now, let's talk this number one matchup, Blake. Number one seed, Clint Eastwood versus John Madden. Let's go to the Google AI to give us the information. Clint Eastwood, major accomplishments, Blake. So Clint Eastwood has won 5 Academy Awards, 5 Golden Globe Awards, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and 5 People's Choice Awards, as well as starring in a bunch of iconic films. He's a great actor. He's a great director. Academy Awards. Eastwood has won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director for Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby, Best Picture for Unforgiven. He's received 5 Golden Globe Awards. He's won a Screen Actors Guild Award. He's received 5 People's Choice Awards. Iconic roles as an actor, Blake. He's known for his portrayal of the man with no name in the spaghetti westerns directed by Sergio Leone, including A Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Other notable films, he was Dirty Harry. He was the outlaw Josie Wales. He directed Mystic River and Letters from Iwo Jima. All right. 5 of his films that he made are on the American Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Movies list. Those movies are Dirty Harry, Outlaw Josie Wales, Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, and Mystic River. Beyond acting and directing, he served as the mayor of Carmel by the Sea, California, whatever that means. He owns his own hotel and restaurant. He is a licensed pilot and a passionate golfer. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you talk about Clint Eastwood, just iconic. You know, he invented, or he's like, when you think about spaghetti westerns, you think about Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
When you think about tough cops, you think about Dirty Harry Callahan. When you think about great directors, you think about Clint Eastwood. The guy is great, but he's facing a guy who coached the Raiders, Blake, and that's Mr. John Madden. John Madden's major accomplishments include coaching the Oakland Raiders to Super Bowl 11, led the Oakland Raiders to a Super Bowl victory in 1976, defeating the Minnesota Vikings 32-14. His Raiders had a 103-32-7 record during his 10 years as head coach, resulting in a 75% winning percentage, the best in NFL history with a minimum of 100 games. He won the AFL Coach of the Year in 1969. He led the Raiders to 7 AFC Western Division championships. He was a Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee in 2006. Now let's talk about his broadcasting career. He won 16 Sports Emmy Awards for Outstanding Sports Analyst Personality during his 30-year broadcasting career. He called games for CBS, Fox, ABC, and NBC, becoming a staple of NFL broadcasts. Now let's talk about what all the kids are going to know him for. Madden, the NFL video game. He lent his name and expertise to Madden NFL video game series, which has become the best-selling American football game franchise of all time. He's inducted in the Sports Broadcast Hall of Fame, Blake. That is, boom, John Madden. Now, I'll let you lead it off like we always do. Clint Eastwood versus John Madden. Not something people would normally put against each other.
No, it's not. This is a tough matchup, Ronnie. John Madden, who was in one of my favorite kid movies of all time, The Little Giants. He plays a pivotal part in that. He gives them the play for the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Kid.
While you're doing that, I did some fun facts on him. He never flew on airplanes. He traveled by bus everywhere. Let's see. You mentioned that. Never had a losing season. You mentioned that. He popularized the term turducken, Ronnie.
Yes,
which
amazing.
Is chicken inside a duck inside a turkey, and they eat that during Thanksgiving after the football games. I didn't realize the Madden game has been out since '88. I thought it was '91, but apparently it's been going strong. And yeah, that's it on him. Now over to Clint Eastwood. Fun facts: he survived a plane crash in 1951. He was almost James Bond. When Sean Connery left the role, they offered it to Clint, and he said, no, that should always go to a Brit. So what could have been? You mentioned he was the mayor of California. He almost died during the filming of Good, Bad, and Ugly, standing too close to Uncontrolled Dynamite.
Why?
He was originally cast in Die Hard.
As what? One of the Johnsons?
John McClane.
Oh, no.
And he hates CGI. This is tough. Marty McFly only pretended to be one of these guys in Back to the Future.
It's true.
And it wasn't John Madden. Boom! I'm going Clint Eastwood to go to the second round. I love the movie Unforgiven. I love the movie Perfect World with Clint Eastwood and Kevin Costner. Outlaw Josie Wales. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. My papa used to watch that one all the time. He came out with a movie like 10 or 15 years ago where he yells at a bunch of Mexicans, get off my lawn. It's classic. Gran Torino.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. He's 127. He's got a really good-looking son named Scott Eastwood. He was in that movie Fury, beat up Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I already said it. I take Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's the best. And he's going to be tough in this bracket. You're really going to have to blow my panties off to beat Clint Eastwood. He's the ultimate man's man. And he's one of the few people that had a reality show and didn't let it ruin him. All his daughters wanted to get famous and his young wife, so they get a reality show, and he just hid in the corner. So there you go. Clint Eastwood moving on to the second round as we jump down to this matchup, another matchup that's never been mentioned in any type of bracket ever. Nick Saban taking on Bob Dylan. First off, this won't take long. Nick Saban won 7 national championships overall, 1 at LSU, 6 at Alabama, becoming the first coach to win national championships with 2 different FBS schools and coaching 4 Heisman Trophy winners at Alabama. It says here's more of a breakdown of his success, but there's really nothing there. That's really much all you got to say. One of the greatest college football coaches of all time, if not the greatest, Blake. He coached the Dolphins in the NFL. Now he's moved on to broadcasting, which he'll do that forever. He does the motivational speaking circuit. When he talks, you listen, no matter who your favorite team is. You got to respect Nick Saban. He's managed to hold on to this hair for as long as he has. He was going bald 20 years ago, and he just puffs it up, and he's still dyeing it. Don't really know why he's going through the effort of that. So that's Nick Saban. Now let's talk about Bob Dylan. So Bob Dylan's a highly influential musician and songwriter known for his poetic lyrics and distinctive sound, achieving major accomplishment, including winning the Nobel Prize in Literature, an Academy Award, and multiple Grammy Awards, Blake. Musical achievements, Nobel Prize in Literature in 2016. And why is that under musical achievements? For having created a new poetic expressions with the great American song tradition, whatever that means. Academy Award in 2001 for Best Original Song for Things have changed from the film Wonder Boys. Multiple Grammy Awards. He won 11 Grammy Awards throughout his career. Golden Globe Awards for Best Original Song. Things have changed. So he has a Golden Globe. He has a Academy Award, an Oscar. He has a Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, Grammys, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1985, National Medal of Arts awarded in 2009, Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012, honored by the Kennedy Center in 1997. He's a global music icon known world over for 125 million records that he sold. He's considered one of the most influential musicians of all time, known for his ability to write songs that are both musically and lyrically groundbreaking. Like a Rolling Stone, his song "Like a Rolling Stone" considered a landmark in rock and roll music. "Blowing in the Wind," another iconic song. "The Times They Are Changing." So there you go, Blake. The greatest college football coach of all time versus Bob Dylan. This is me, right?
Yep.
It's hard to, when you're looking at both of these guys and you're like, damn, that white boy can sing. Or damn, that white boy can coach. Damn, that white boy got a good contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. This is a tough one because I did not know that Bob Dylan won a Nobel Prize.
No BAFTAs, though.
And an Oscar. And a Golden Globe. And a Grammy. And Nick Saban's won 7 national titles. The 7 national titles outweigh all that other stuff. Nick Saban is my pick to advance to the second round, Blake.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban, other than Alabama, never held a job for more than 5 years before switching. Bob Dylan has a song, "Times Are Changing." That's at the beginning of Watchmen. It's one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever. I got to go Nick Saban. I mean, there's a statue of Nick Saban. Nick Saban, you could argue, the greatest college coach of all time, the greatest at what he does. Bob Dylan, he's up there, but you can't argue that.
Got a bunch of awards, but is he the best?
No BAFTAs.
So we're moving on, Blake. Napoleon Bonaparte versus Archie Manning.
I'm really going to have to pay attention to this one.
Napoleon Bonaparte, a brilliant military strategist and leader, is known for his revolutionary reforms, military conquest, and the Napoleonic Code, which modernized French law and continues to influence legal systems worldwide. Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon led France in a series of wars between 1801 to 1815 that reshaped the map of Europe, expanding French influence and dominance. He revolutionized the French military, creating a highly disciplined and mobile army, and his innovative tactics and strategic brilliance led to numerous victories. His victories at Austerlitz and Marengo are considered some of his greatest military successes. In an attempt to cripple Britain economically, Napoleon implemented the Continental System, a blockade of British trade with Europe. Through military conquest, Napoleon expanded French territory and influence across all of Europe, establishing a vast empire. The Napoleonic Code, as first consul and later emperor, Napoleon implemented the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that standardized law, promoted equality before the law, and abolished feudal privileges. He established a strong centralized government, replacing the decentralized system that existed. Napoleon reformed the French educational system, established a central bank, and introduced uniform weights and measures, promoting economic stability and modernization. He negotiated What else? And he got killed at Waterloo. And he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which is great. Hopefully you're paying attention. So here we go. He's facing Archie Manning. So are you ready for this? Archie Manning's major accomplishments include being a Pro Bowler in 1978 and 79. He was the NFC Most Valuable Player in 1978. And he's a member of the Saints Ring of Honor inductee. He played in the NFL for 14 seasons with the New Orleans Saints, Houston Oilers, and Minnesota Vikings. Career honors include Pro Bowl 78-79, Saints Ring of Honor, Saints Hall of Fame, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, Greater New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame, SEC Player of the Year 1969, First Team All-American 1969.
You want me to add in one?
Yeah.
He fathered 2 kids that won 4 Super Bowls.
Number 2 overall pick in the 1971 NFL Draft by New Orleans. Manning played the bulk of an outstanding 14-year pro career with the Saints. There you go. He's a mobile running quarterback. Played on a terrible team. Like you said, birthed out 3 kids, 2 of them that won multiple Super Bowls and going to be Hall of Famers if they're not already. Who you taking, Blake? Napoleon Bonaparte, French general dictator, or Archie Manning?
Interesting matchup, Ronnie. Both well-accomplished guys, good at what they did, but only one of them traveled through time in a phone booth and ate the Ziggy ice cream bowl and went to the Waterloo.
Ziggy.
Went to Waterloo water park and helped Bill and Ted pass their history test.
Water slide.
I got to go Napoleon.
Me too. Napoleon advances to the second round, Blake, and brings us with something that's going to be very tough for us. 3 titties.
Hey, did you watch that video I sent you yesterday?
No.
Okay, I threw in a surprise for you. Speaking of that.
Oh, was there something at the end of it?
No, it was in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I didn't see it. I just put it up and hope you didn't do anything bad. Here we go, Blake. Burt Reynolds, a prominent actor known for his film roles like Smokey and the Bandit, Boogie Nights, achieved significant success in the 70s and 80s, earning an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe for his performance in Boogie Nights. That was not in the 80s. Television debut and early successes. Reynolds began his career as a guest appearance on television shows like Flight, Pony Express, The Schlitz Playhouse. He gained recognition for his role in the series Riverboat from 1959 to 1960. His breakthrough role came in 1972 in the movie Deliverance, which solidified his status as a leading movie star. The 70s and 80s, he had major star power, starring in films like The Longest Yard, Smokey and the Bandit, Starting Over, and The Cannonball Run. 97, he got his Oscar nomination and Golden Globe for his role in Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights. According to Wikipedia, Reynolds received numerous awards and nominations, including 2 Golden Globes, 1 Emmy Award, and 9 People's Choice Awards. Reynolds continued acting in both acting and Reynolds continued acting in both starring and supporting roles in the late 90s and 2000s, closing his career with the critically acclaimed 2017 role in The Last Movie Star. He's an advocate for veterans. Though not a veteran himself, he was a staunch advocate for veterans and joined the honorary board of the National Veterans Foundation in the late 1990s. He died at age 82 in 2018, played football for Florida State. If I'm not missing that, Blake, he is a huge influence in my life as far as movies and attitude and things like that. Burt Reynolds, what a guy. Now moving on to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, he began lifting weights at age 15, won Mr. Universe at age 20, Mr. Olympia 7 times. He's tied with Phil Heath for the joint second number of all time Mr. Olympia wins, behind Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney, who are joint with 8 each. Let's see. Became an international star with The Terminator in 1984, No Hercules in New York, and over the next 20 years appeared in 2 sequels for The Terminator. His other film roles during this time included Predator in 1987, Kindergarten Cop in 1990, Total Recall in 1990, True Lies in 94, The Sixth Day. They're gonna list that. Let's see what else. In 2000,
Running Man, Commando.
In 2003, he became the governor of California, a role he embraced with the same determination and passion that propelled him to stardom. One of the, if not the biggest action star of all time, one of the biggest box office attractions of all time when it comes to movies, Blake, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So here we go. Burt Reynolds versus Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Go ahead.
I got to go Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's just because when you look at the body of work, Commando, Running Man, Terminator 2, Terminator, Kindergarten Cop. He's in a ton of good movies that I watched a billion times over the course of my life. He's also one of the most jacked up one liner guys that you'll see in movies. He pretty much invented the one liners in the 80s. He invented a whole section of movies, the one line action movies, where you didn't have to do these long speeches like Stallone did in First Blood at the end of it. Burt Reynolds, on the other hand, Burt Reynolds is the star of one of my favorite movies of all time, Smokey and the Bandit. I love Smokey and the Bandit. I love Burt Reynolds in that movie. I love the thought of a guy, the Bandit, being a Southern legend that no cops are able to catch, and all he does is drive fast and have fun. He's great in that movie with Jackie Gleason. Later in life, he in the 80s, mid to late 80s, early 90s, the roles kind of dried up and took a little bit of the star off of him, if that makes sense. Arnold, you got that a little bit at the tail end. Then he became the governor. Then he came back. But I think that always happens with older actors. So really, Red Heat for Arnold's a great movie. It really comes down to Arnold versus Burt. I got to go Arnold. I'm going all Schwarzenegger to take this, Blake. It might be the toughest one for me in the tournament. It's a another solid 4-5 matchup by the wheel, though you could argue that both these guys could be ranked higher. These are very dangerous 4 and 5 seeds, no matter who comes out of this.
Yeah.
So, who are you taking?
I echo everything you just said. Smokey and the Bandit, one of my favorite movies of all time. His cameo in the new Longest Yard with Adam Sandler is great. He's great in the original Longest Yard. Hard to say anything bad about these guys. I know Arnold had his situation with the maid.
Three titties.
The way Arnold grew up, he didn't grow up in the best situation, but
the way he grew up,
yeah, that's true. He saw someone he went to the movies and he saw someone in the theater that was all jacked up on a movie poster. And he said, all I got to do is work out and I could be on the movie poster. And the guy made it happen. Literally the American dream, which I know that's not what this is about. It's about white boy bracket. But, at the end of the day, Ronnie, only one of these two guys was mean to Mark Summers on the late night show. And it wasn't Arnold. It was Burt Reynolds. And that soured him on for me, the way he treated Mark Summers. He thought he could punk him out because at one point he was a legend. At that time, he wasn't. Mark Summers wasn't playing that shit. Got to go Arnold.
Arnold advances to the second round, which gives us two pretty good matchups right here, Blake. And we'll start at the top. Number 1 seed, Clint Eastwood, facing off against the number 3 seed, Napoleon Bonaparte. We read down their accomplishments. If the people watching don't remember it, rewind and go back and look. Who you taking, Eastwood versus Napoleon?
I think, when you talk about fake tough guys or whatever, Ronnie, I don't think anybody's going to mention Clint Eastwood in that. I think if these two were to battle, Napoleon will get turned every which way but loose. I'm going Clint Eastwood.
Me too, Clint Eastwood. What he would do to a 4'8" Napoleon, he would be unforgiven.
That's a myth. He was 5'7".
Oh, whatever. Anyway,
which is respectable.
Clint Eastwood advances to the finals of this bracket. Now we have Nick Saban versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. Blake. Arnold Schwarzenegger advances for me. 7 national titles does not equal 1 commando in my book. So there you go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger once slapped Triple H on Friday Night SmackDown. I got to go Arnold beating Nick Saban to advance to the finals of the bracket.
Now, here we are. Here we are, Norris. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Clint Eastwood. This is a tough one. Blake, You're up. This is a tough one. This is a huge 1 versus 5 finale.
You know what ridiculous thing I'm going to boil it down to, Ronnie?
Yes. No, man, no.
You do?
No, I don't.
Can you name one Clint Eastwood Christmas movie? Okay, so I didn't know that. I just wanted to verify. Clint Eastwood has not been in a Christmas movie.
Let's check the files.
This is a huge factor for me.
He hasn't starred in a movie specifically marketed as a Christmas movie.
Arnold has. He was in Jingle All the Way. And because of that, Ronnie, I can sit by the fire in December with my children and watch an Arnold movie. I'm going Arnold over Clint Eastwood.
I could argue Clint Eastwood
You could.
has just as many good action movies as Arnold. He's got the good westerns. He's got the movie where he escaped Alcatraz.
Ooh.
He's maybe a better director than he is actor, which is saying a lot. But when it comes down to it, he did nothing that could compare to Predator. So Arnold Schwarzenegger wins as a 5 seed and advances to the championship 8, Blake. And that's the Clint Eastwood bracket. Tune in tomorrow for the next one.